How do you feel about dinosaurs?
I, I,
I'm being genuine.
they're so.
Hmm. I just mean in do you think that dinosaurs were real? That's what I mean.
Like, right.
I'm not joking. I'm being genuine.
Can I not just laugh?
I thought you were laughing because you thought it was a joke.
No, I don't think it's a joke, and I don't think you should think that I do think it's a joke because I find that very offensive.
Well, I thought it was. I thought that you thought that that.
No, dinosaurs are cool.
We're live in 5, 4, 3.
Two?
That you don't say 2 or 1.
Oh right. Oh sorry. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just give me another one.
Okay. We're live in 5. We're live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wackless podcast. My name is Cade Freihover.
And I'm Dilly Dilly.
And we are glad you're tuning in with us this week. Sorry for the delay on uploads. But joke's on you, we never promise anything, so
True.
Anyways, should have an interesting episode here. I have had a couple requests though on some changes. Some critiques on last week's podcast.
Last week.
Last whenever, I guess we can't really.
That's like a month ago.
Can't continue that canon, but. Anyways, the most important of which being, my mom has requested we no longer talk about dark things such as vampires. She says that that might be too creepy for people in these times. I'm not even kidding.
Okay. We'll keep the vampire talk to a minimum then.
Oh, man. Truth be told, I don't even remember talking about vampires last time.
I don't remember that either, but okay.
I just know we can't do that anymore. So
okay.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, she prefers something, more uplifting. You get me? Something more...
Right.
Less creepy, as vampires tend to be. So, yeah.
I think Hotel Transylvania
gave me nightmares, personally.
Oh, my apologies. Continue.
All right. But, yeah, so anyways... We just if you go too far, I'll definitely I might cut it out, but just be careful about the vampire stuff. So, and none of that creepy stuff. I don't want to see that. She doesn't want to see that. You know what I mean? So, anything? What's been up with you since last week?
Well, my computer broke. I was writing it out on a laptop, and actually just today I got my new computer. So
nice. Well, how did your computer break?
To make a long story short, I tried to fix it, and I did not fix it. So I broke it. Not, of course, intentionally, but because of my lack of knowledge with computers, like the hardware part. I broke it. So yeah, that sucked. But we got a new computer now, and yeah, so that's what's been going on with me.
Well, that's great. Anything else happening in your life, or?
Yeah, I ran into my neighbor. He's a vamp. Oh man, I forgot I wasn't supposed to.
You gotta watch out for that, okay?
No, other than that, I guess nothing. Well,
well, well, okay then. Sounds interesting.
yeah, no, it really is. My life is full of interesting, interesting things. Can't you tell? In the past 4 weeks, my highlight has been my computer broke.
Oh, living the
Oh
life,
my
man.
god. Yeah,
Really
living the
living it out there.
dream.
Amen, brother.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
yeah. Well, that's fun.
yeah,
You know, that's something.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's been kind of a crazy few weeks for me, though.
I didn't ask, but.
All right, moving right along.
Well, let's hear about it. Come on,
All
let's
right,
hear
all
about it.
right. Well,
Yeah.
biggest. I guess we'll go biggest. I mean, that's the only thing that's been going on with me.
Mm,
But uh, I have been in talks thanks to my amazing sister and a couple of her kids. I mean, I love all of them, but it was like
mm,
one or two that really nailed it home for me. Thanks
mm,
to them, I am in talks with a record label
mm.
to
Wow.
be signed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really exciting actually. Uh, yeah, I just went to the studio Thursday
Hmm.
to like I don't know meet the head honcho over there, I guess you could say. Yeah, to meet him
Uh,
and just kind of hang out. I ended up kind of recording a couple of things that he's gonna work on and get back to me on. So that's been the biggest thing in my life.
yeah. It's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty crazy how it all kind of happens. I'm
Yeah.
really thankful for everybody just in my life. It really puts it into perspective. Like, without everything that's happened, I wouldn't be able to make it here to this point. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah.
In other news, though, I bought a hat, so
Oh,
that should come in Thursday. That's yeah,
like what kind of hat?
just a good old ball cap. It's got a cord on it, one of those cord hats. Those are pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's from a company that I'm not gonna plug it because they didn't pay us anything. Um, that every time you buy something, they give a certain number of meals to starving kids.
Oh, okay.
I mean, personally, to me, it almost sounds a little bit sketchy because it's like, why not just give them the food without me having to pay for it first? I mean, you already have the kids, so why not just feed them in the
What?
first place?
Right.
Why do you have to wait for me to pay for a hat to give them food? But
Right.
I guess that's just business.
Do you think this would fall into the dark stuff
Is this
your
too
mom was
edgy?
talking
Is
about?
this too edgy? Oh
Oh
jeez.
dear. Oh dear.
I'm gonna get a couple licks for that one, eh?
Am I right, boys?
Am I right? Oh man.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, anyways.
No, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
good stuff. Love hats.
Yeah. I love hats. I
Like
have a
you
lot.
can't get enough of them.
You can't. You really can't.
Um any fun facts you heard in recent times or any like I don't what are you laughing at?
Did you ask for questions earlier today? Did we get any?
We got like 3.
Are we gonna answer them, or were they just
Well, I
like?
figured we'd kind of, have a little bit of conversation, wait it, write it out till later on in
No,
the
yeah.
podcast, but
Oh, I got you. No, no, no. I thought we were just gonna do like maybe one now, maybe one later. You know what I mean?
oh, that's not a
Yeah.
bad idea. There you go.
Not
Yeah.
like right after one after another.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see here. First one comes from one Bill Boop,
Mm.
and he asks, "Why do you think my wife is a witch?"
Hmm. This is a little bit more, I believe, towards you, because if I remember correctly. That's probably when we talked about vampires.
Most likely,
Now that,
yeah. That's a
now
good
that I think
point.
about it, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Well, go ahead.
Um, see, I don't exactly know what he's talking about. I mean, it's weird. Like I went over to their house fairly recently,
Hmm.
but I realized as I was leaving their house, all of my memories from before going to their house were seemingly weirdly blurry and kind of fuzzy. I don't know, but all of a sudden I just can't
Hmm.
remember stuff from before then. Um,
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
don't know. It's just like it's as if like there I don't know some sort of weird like spell was cast over me or something. I mean I don't mean to be. It's just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of crazy.
Right. Could be anything.
Really, I mean probably I've been feeling a little uh stuffy, so it's probably just sinuses.
Yeah,
But
that definitely could be it. Allergies.
yeah, I mean there's a lot of pollen, so I
Yeah.
figure that's probably what it is. Um, so
So
no,
you just not gonna answer the
no.
question, or
In all seriousness, Mr. Boop, if you're listening, I do not think your wife is a witch. I think every girl in your family is a witch.
let's not get it twisted. I wouldn't want you to have the wrong idea.
No, I really don't. I felt bad after last podcast because I didn't realize that people didn't really who wouldn't get it listen. So I felt I
That sounds kind of mean.
yeah, to people who don't
Yeah.
understand the joke. I realized that it would sound kind of offensive. Um, and
Well, they'll get over
mean. Yeah, well, I just mean, I just want to take the time. I want to take the time now to recant that statement and
it. Right.
and clarify that that was only for the sake of a joke. I don't think
Right.
they're witches. Um,
It's not impossible.
it's not impossible. I could be a vamp. Dang.
You can't.
I can't say that. Crap. Sorry,
Goodness.
Mom. Love you. Uh, I
Oh,
I just, they just have really great intuition. Almost
mm,
too great. But we don't have to get into
mm,
that.
right. Yeah.
Anyways, did I don't know if I told you, but it was after that podcast had come out. I went and visited them at their house.
Uh-huh.
And it was like the day after it came out. And I like drive up to their house. This is at night. I drive up to their house and like all the lights are off. Spare like some candles I noticed littered around their windows in the front, and some like flashing fairy lights in their front like mudroom in the front of their house. And so, I like knock on the door. There's no answer. So I kind of like let myself in because I figure something has to be going on, right? So
Right.
I turn to my right into their house, and I see Mrs. Boop sitting there with a cauldron, stirring it maniacally.
A witch's brew.
Perhaps yes, a witch's brew, perhaps, and a sign on the front of it that has a picture of my face on it, and it's X'd out in red marker. And all she says is, "I've been expecting you." Um.
That's funny.
So I don't know. Speculation is still out on the whole witch thing. Can't really get into it, but
Right. Right. Right.
I mean, take it how you take it.
Mm.
Uh, I guess it was probably just give them the benefit of doubt. Say that probably just a meme. But if I do say so myself, I almost soiled my breeches at the mere sight. So
Right.
take it with a grain of salt, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, yeah. So we have a couple more questions to answer, but we'll get to those here in a bit.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Any questions you have for me?
Oh man. How's school online?
Oh man, online school is just
Hmm.
the worst.
Real.
Well, see, what sucks is that I'm really lazy and I procrastinate, so I really don't have anywhere to speak about things being difficult as far as school.
Right.
Um, but I think it's fair that I say I don't enjoy it.
Okay.
It's just the whole situation happening makes me just uneasy. It's just not fun at
Yeah.
all. Because it's just so different.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know. It takes some getting used to, but you find a groove at some point, and you kind of you teach your brain to tell itself, oh, this is kind of just like doing homework. Just
Hmm.
longer time period to do homework. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just I don't know. I mean it's definitely not the worst part of this, but it's not enjoyable, I guess. I mean, I guess it is. If you're see, but I'm not the kind of person who likes to stay inside and do nothing. You know what I mean? I'm very much an extrovert when it comes to things like this. And so having to stay inside has just been, I guess probably more difficult for me than it is for some people who can be inside no problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I kind of thrive off of being around people and
Hmm.
like just being in other people's presence in general. It's like, I mean, I have my parents, but like it really, you don't realize how crazy it is to just be not around hundreds of other people a day all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just really makes me a little more thankful of a little more gratuitous of the people that were normally in my life that I've had to
Hmm.
kind of not be around as much. So yeah, no, but it's going all right. I can't really complain
That's
that
good.
much as far as online school. So yeah. How are you still working at Tractor Supply?
I am.
Has that changed at all over the past few weeks?
No, not really. Um, no, I'm the CEO of the joint now, though, which is no big
Wow.
deal. Yeah, no big
So
deal,
what
but
does that mean? What do you do?
it means the company's running into the ground.
Oh.
Is what that means. If I ever get the CEO position, the company is running into the ground.
Oh wow.
No, yeah, no, nothing's changed. Front. There was, I was gonna say, when it comes to um, something I saw on Instagram, kind of like LOL, but uh, I saw that a lot of people who are kind of like, oh man, I have no one to talk to that are like senior in high school. Somebody pointed out that that's a lot like after you graduate,
Yeah.
like that's like it's literally exactly what you go through. It sucks so
Yeah.
much.
I do okay. Like see I've heard things kind of like that and like that's I think it's totally similar. But also I
Mhm.
think added when you add on the fact that like, when you graduate, you have the ability to go out and hang out with people
Right.
if you want.
Hmm.
You just aren't, you know, aren't you don't have to be around people all day.
Right. You
Um,
have the option.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I definitely think that when you when that opportunity is taken away, whether you decide to go out or not on a regular basis, just not even being able to do it is in a way kind of claustrophobic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like, but like, no, yeah, I definitely like. That's one thing is I think that like college kids can kind of understand where we're coming from a little bit better than a lot of people because it is like you said really similar to when you first kind of get out on your own.
Yeah.
So yeah, or graduated people, not just college kids, but
Right.
people who have graduated in general, which I guess considering is like most people now that I think about it, but
Yeah.
people who graduated recently, I think more so.
Yeah. The feeling is fresh. So
Right, exactly.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah. Anyways, any new bits of media that you have been uh
Hmm.
participating in recently?
New bits of media.
Bits of media.
Hmm. Not that I can think of. Um, I've been rewatching The Walking Dead,
How's
and
that?
I mean, I have mixed reviews on it, mixed feelings,
Okay, how
but
so? I mean, I've only watched the first few episodes, so
well, the first I'm on season two, or I just started season three.
gotcha. Okay.
Um, but the first two seasons, it made me realize how good the like the story was,
Mm,
but at times how bad the acting.
gotcha.
Like there are times that they have interactions with each other, and of course it's like not the actor's fault. Like, but they are forced to have an interaction with each other that just doesn't make sense. Like Shane and Lori talk to each other about 5 dozen times about the same thing that I just do not care about anymore. Like I'm over it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like I was over it like episode two, and they're still talking about it at the end of season two. I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
But overall, it made me realize like further down the road how each character, like there are very specific storylines that are really good. Like the further we get, like season nine or whatever.
Yeah.
But in early on, like everyone's story collectively was really good,
Right.
and man, it was pretty good.
See,
Plus, you get to see all the old faces.
right, right. See, like, cause like the closest thing I've ever gotten to, you know, being, in any way like consuming that Walking Dead type stuff has
Mm-hmm.
been the Telltale video games that they put out years ago. Those are the only things. That's the closest and then watching like the first two episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I can't. I'm a person who can't really get into really long shows that just keep going on and on. That's why like I've never watched Game of Thrones or never seen The Walking Dead past the first few episodes, is because like I can't really sit down and just watch episode after episode just to catch up with everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just it sounds so lazy, but to me it just seems like such a big arduous task that I end up giving up after the first couple ones, because it's just like
Yeah.
this is gonna take me forever. And at that point,
Right.
it's not as much about watching it to watch it; it's about catching up with people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm on episode 1 and everybody else is on episode 400, then there's gonna be no point in me talking to them about episode 1 because they watched it so long ago and they already are like way past it.
Right.
So it means nothing to anybody anymore. So I just feel like there's just no point.
I think I think it depends on the friends you have personally, because this is gonna sound super cringe, but when I started watching like anime, my friend would like show me what shows to watch, and then I'd watch them, and because he was like excited to finally talk to somebody about them, like we would have really engaging conversations about like just the smallest things from the show. And like the same thing with Game of Thrones. Like I didn't want to watch Game of Thrones, but then my buddy was just like, dude, just sit down and watch it. I think you'll like it. And we watched it, and like just having a conversation about what we just saw and everything. And like, yeah, I know the end result. Like I know what's going to happen at the end of the show. I know what happens every so often, like this character dies, whatever. But like it's seeing it go through that makes the difference for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like seeing a complete story arc that really drives it home makes me feel good.
Right. Yeah, no, I totally get that. See, but like, none of my closer friends watch a lot of those kinds of shows, you know? And like
Mm-hmm.
and if they do, they never talk about it. Like the closest thing I've been to that has been the friends of mine who have watched like Grey's Anatomy. But like they don't typically talk about like the character arcs or like the storylines. What I typically hear, and I don't know, sue me if this is dumb or something or not
Mm-hmm.
true, but tell me that to audiences listening, tell me the people who talk about Grey's Anatomy don't 90% of the time talk about how hot the characters are. That's
That's true. That's
most of
true.
what I hear about. It's like, oh man, this guy's so hot, but oh, this person died and that's sad. But also, this dude's really hot. It's like, okay, totally makes me want to watch a show.
Well, I think that's the appeal of Grey's Anatomy, though.
See, but at the same time, though, I've heard that like there's some legitimate very like gripping storytelling within the show at parts. And see, but and at the same time, like that just doesn't click with me. If I'm
Mm,
if I'm watching a show for the sheer fact of seeing a pretty person do something, I can just Google image search a good-looking person, you know,
right.
and then
Yeah.
that's it's whatever. But like I'm watching shows and movies so to see either, and I'm guilty of watching old movies that are crappy for the sheer fact that they are crappy. Like I watch
Yeah.
them because they're bad. Like I
Yeah.
can't deny that. But as far as something recent and new, I'm not gonna watch it if it's not gripping and interesting and if I don't see it to be rewarding to as far as conversation goes with my peers later on.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm too picky on my shows, but that's just how I feel about it.
Well, I mean, I would like to agree with you and say that like it's stupid, but the only reason I watched The Dead Don't Die is because it had Selena Gomez. That's the only reason I went to the theater. I I went there for Selena Gomez, but I stayed for Adam Driver and Bill Murray. It was amazing. It
See,
was just such a good movie.
and things like that are great, but the difference between you and I is that I'm not um a psychopath who's obsessed with Selena Gomez.
I'm not obsessed.
You had
The
her as
thing
your
is,
lock screen for more than a year.
well, we're gonna be married one day.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I take it back. My bad.
yeah. No, it's okay. It's all good. But yeah, they have a new Doctor Doolittle, I think, right?
Yeah, with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and Selena Gomez as a giraffe.
I didn't really. Are you? Don't tell me you're gonna go watch the movie just simply to.
Well, I planned to, but I think they shut down the theater before it was released. So
Man,
couldn't go watch.
that's a shame, isn't it?
It is a shame. It really is a shame.
Yikes, man. Sorry,
It is what it
I'm really
is.
sorry about that.
Well, it is what it is. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'll be waiting. I'll be first in line though.
Yeah, I bet. I don't doubt
Whenever
that.
they open those doors back up, I'll be there
You're gonna be camping out in front of the theater
for
till
the
the
next few
till
months.
the end of this quarantine. As soon as they start, plug back in those lights, you're gonna be in
That's
there.
right. That's right.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm not gonna judge you. I may think of you differently afterwards, but I'm not gonna judge you over it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, I think that's what of me differently is, though.
Judging?
Judging. Yeah.
I don't agree.
Explain.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And that's that. That's a fact, Jack.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Man,
Okay.
I've been watching some. I didn't think about it until recently, like just now. But
Uh-huh.
I've been really consuming some bits of media this quarantine.
Really?
The other night I watched like 3 movies.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess the other day, I watched the movie Dazed and Confused for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I have not.
It is, well, okay. Aside from it being a tad problematic in places, um,
Mm-hmm.
it is. I like it just given the vibe and the style of it. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I found it very enjoyable watching a young Ben Affleck just freaking whooping the crap out of some kids with a paddle multiple times
Oh my.
within the movie. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Basically, for those who haven't seen it, you included, um, funnily enough, a plot point of the movie is that the freshman kids in the town uh,
Mm.
get paddled by all the seniors in town.
Oh
Like
my.
basically, as soon as school lets out the last day of school, the seniors are driving around looking for freshman boys. Senior boys are looking for freshman boys to just wallop
Mm.
or give licks to, as they worded it. You ever gotten a lick, Dylan?
I have.
Yeah, I mean, hey, for some it's part of life.
Mm.
For those who
Not for you though.
no, I've gotten licks. I've gotten plenty of licks. Just never from a paddle by a senior boy. You know what I mean? That's just not a thing
Right.
anymore. I don't know.
Right.
I found that plot point really interesting. But yeah, Ben Affleck's in the movie. Matthew McConaughey, love him, even though he's one of the most problematic characters in the movie.
I think I know exactly what movie you're talking about now.
It's the movie in which his line, which is infamous at this point, is
Yeah.
the thing about these high school girls is
Yeah.
I get older, but they stay the same age.
Yeah, every time I went to a football game after I graduated, there was a certain individual who would say that to me every time he saw me.
I will not ask you to disclose his name, just for his sake.
Just for his sake.
He didn't have to be wearing a mustache and a blonde wig.
No, he no, he was in high school. He was saying that that's what I was doing. I was Matthew McConaughey.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean that's interesting. Poor guy.
Him, right?
Maybe,
not me.
Yeah, poor. Yeah, I was talking about you, of course.
Yeah. Oh. Right.
I mean, it's gotta suck to be that guy, you know. I mean,
So
there's always
so
one.
young, so handsome.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. No, I can imagine.
Yeah. So.
Anyways, so a great movie, really, really a bomb soundtrack. I definitely recommend that movie. If you are one who can handle a tad bit of
Problematic behavior.
Sure, yeah, we'll go problematic behavior. Other than that, it's mainly fun. I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Oh man, something really got me in the movie. I thought it was the craziest thing. So like, I don't know what it's for. At first, I figured it was for cheerleading, but apparently in the movie, in this world in '76, whenever it's set, the senior girls would also wrangle up the freshman girls and first load them into the backs of some trucks and then put pacifiers in their mouths as if to you know, imply that they are little babies because they're freshmen. And then they would take them to like a little courtyard platform place where, you know, other high school, you know, senior guys and other girls are watching, and they'd make them do really embarrassing things, like air raids. You ever had to do an air raid?
Back in my day, yeah.
Yeah. They made them
in my heyday.
They made them do air raids, and they called them foul names. And then they started pouring a bunch of condiments on them. Really a weird kind of situation to at least nowadays, I guess. Maybe that was normal back then, but like
I don't know if that was particularly normal, but
well, you know, just small town high school stuff, you know, the usual.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, just kind of some really random parts of the movie that weren't always explained. It just kind of happened. Because the movie came out in like '93, but it was set in '76. And I guess
it's probably. Oh, okay, good. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I guess it's just like a weird like satirical play on, you know, people growing up in the '70s or something. But I don't know. Great movie. I personally thought it was really enjoyable to watch.
Interesting.
Not in like a weird. I just like it was just a fun movie, you know. I'm not. Right. It was just, you know, I like because I like retro stuff. So I liked the clothing, and just the style. You know, people would say "man" a lot, and they'd smoke a lot of weed, I guess. Which is neither here nor there. You know, I'm not gonna disclose my opinions on that, but
What, are you scared?
Well, you know, my mom listens, and other people's moms listen.
Okay.
So I figure it might be a little inappropriate to talk about illegal substances on the podcast. I'm not even 18 yet, so I just want to put that out there.
Right.
Even if laws hadn't changed, Dylan, I wouldn't even be old enough to smoke cigarettes at this point in my life. So I think it's safe if we just kind of try to keep that out of this podcast as much as possible.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're the one on the defense about it. I'm just chilling, man.
Well, you kind of, you called me out on it, as if
Well, I
to,
called you out on it because I like to talk.
as if to spark some sort of reaction.
It's
But I will
the reaction
not let
I
you get a
wanted.
reaction.
You already gave me one.
I refuse. I'm not gonna let you have it.
You just gave me a reaction that told me everything I needed to know.
You can't.
Everything.
Can't. No,
I already know your password.
What is my password?
Burrito 1738.
All right.
Explanation point.
We're gonna have to cut this thing off early. I need to talk with you after the podcast. Anyway, what was I talking about?
You were talking about movies. You saw 2 other movies.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I saw Dazed and Confused, and I saw, oh my god, one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen. But it's just, strangely endearing in a way. Really, like, half of me is like, there's no reason this movie should have ever been released to audiences. But another half of me is like, oh, that's kind of quirky and stupid, but funny. You know what I mean? It's a movie called Mallrats. Okay?
Yeah.
Starring Jason Lee and Jeremy London as 2 teenagers who get broken up with at the same day, basically. And they end up at a mall fixing all of their problems by the end of the day. By being at the mall, pretty much, is how it goes.
Right.
It's really stupid. It came out 2 years after Dazed and Confused. It came out in like 95. It stars the brother of one of the main characters in Dazed and Confused, the twin brother. And Ben Affleck is also in Mallrats.
Interesting.
Yeah, he plays a guy who also beats up characters in the movie. So I figure, I guess at this point, people were starting to see Ben Affleck's typecast sort of character.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah.
Wonder if he asked for that, or if it was just like a.
Part of me likes to entertain the idea that he did ask personally to be in any movie in which he could beat up someone younger than him. But who knows? I'm not gonna throw anything out there to get him in trouble. God knows he's watching. He's watching this podcast or listening.
Well, he is. Yes.
Actually, yeah, Ben Affleck is a regular listener to this podcast.
To this now 2-episode
podcast. He's a regular. He's a regular guy. He comes in. Yeah, it's all he's been listening to over quarantine. Actually, just our 1 episode on repeat.
Me gradually getting quieter.
Yeah, he's like, what? He's like, why is this Dylan dude he just keeps getting quieter? Dilly. Why is Dilly just quieter and quieter?
What's going on?
I don't understand. Just picture Ben Affleck saying that. It's funny, right?
What was the third movie?
Third movie was oh man. Paper Towns. Did you ever see Paper Towns? Came out back in 2015.
I did not.
It stars one of the Wolf brothers, also known as the Naked Brothers Band. And those guys happen to be in some of my favorite movies, weirdly enough. Like at the time that Paper Towns came out when I first saw it, I saw it in theaters back in 2015 with my at the time girlfriend. But I didn't pay much attention to the movie, if you know what I'm saying. No, I can't say that. I was in 7th grade. I was too big.
Your mom was right there.
Yeah, no, she was a couple rows back, but
oh jeez.
I was too busy trying to put my arm around her. What's happening? Figuring out a way to tell her I like her or something.
Yawn. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I rewatched it. It really is not a great movie. I think I just like it's visual. Okay, it's visually very impressive to me. This is my personal opinion. It's a visually very impressive movie. I think it looks beautiful. Soundtrack's also really good. Very aesthetically pleasing movie. But as a story, compared to the book, I've never read the book, but also compared to the book, I've heard it also doesn't hold up well. So that's something.
How could you? Never mind.
No, what is it?
How could you say compared to the book? I've never read the book, but compared to the book,
Well, I've heard that's what I've heard from
how
people
could
who
you make a
people
comparison to something you've never
no,
experienced?
but people who have read the book and seen the movie have told me that it
Right.
doesn't hold up well
Okay.
compared to the book. So I
Okay.
just, bandwagon.
Mm.
But no, I love it. It stars Cara Delevingne and Nat/Alex Wolf, because my dumb brain can't tell them apart sometimes.
Mm.
Because they're basically twins, so it's like whatever, sue me. But
Right.
yeah, basically this guy. Have you ever seen it or read the book?
I have not.
Okay,
No.
so basically this guy, this girl moves in the house across from him when he's like 7. They find a dead body on the side of the road together, which I guess means something. It doesn't mean crap in the book. They just show it in a scene. I mean, in the movie, they just have it in a scene, and then they don't discuss it ever again. The girl's all like, "Oh, this dude died," and then it cuts away, and the guy's like, "Yeah, she was. It didn't freak me out much, but she was freaked out by this dude dying," and then it doesn't ever talk about it ever again in the movie. They just move on like it didn't happen, which is like, okay, that's fine, Maybe they're just
Right.
really tough kids, I guess. They don't really care much about it. Basically, this girl, they grow up, they're in high school or whatever, they're seniors, and like her boyfriend cheats on her or something with her best friend, and her other best friend is like all mad about it, and this girl just happens to be really like, I guess, she's not gonna take crap from people.
Mm-hmm.
So as a normal teenager does, she leaves town,
Mm-hmm.
but not without first asking the guy who she was been friends with since they were kids. And mind you, they haven't talked since they were really young. But she randomly one night crawls through his window and asks him to drive her around town, and help her, do a bunch of crimes with her to get back at her boyfriend and her best friend.
Clever.
Yeah, so that happens. They're driving around town, running away, almost getting killed or whatever. They end up at this big old tower in town, I guess, and they're dancing, and then you think they're going to kiss, but they don't. They just hug. And so it's like, come on, what the heck movie? You know what I mean? It's that feeling of, come on, when are they going to kiss or whatever? So, yeah, she just up and disappears after that night. And so he's like, she's sending me clues because she put up a freaking poster in her bedroom or whatever. He's like, I think she wants me to come find her. And they're in Florida or whatever. And they end up driving up to New York because he thinks that him and his friends end up driving up to New York because he thinks that she wants him to come find him. And they're like, yeah, I'll go with you as long as we can be back by prom. That's actually part of the movie.
Okay.
And they end up going to New York. She's not where he thought she was. So his friends leave without him because they're mad at him because he wants to find her and she's not there. And they give up and go back to prom. And he's like, no, I'll get a bus back to Florida. And he ends up finding her. And he's like, oh, I'm in love with you. And she's like, oh, that's awkward. I was just leaving clues because that's what I normally do when I leave. Wasn't really asking you to come find me. And I don't love you.
Oh.
So yeah, they end up like kissing or whatever, and he gets back on the bus and goes back and has prom, and that's the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, really anticlimactic end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is just for nothing, pretty much.
Fair.
Yeah. So I actually no, never mind. She's like, you could come with me, and he's like, man, the years I've been wanting to hear those words. And she's like, oh, really? And he's like, actually, I can't because I have to go to college. So he goes back, even though he could have been with her.
Oh.
So he ends up deciding he's just going to stay for college, I guess. So I don't really know what he was thinking. Now that I think about it, he totally should have thought that out. He was like, I'm going to find her. And then what? And he didn't think that far. What an idiot. But yeah, that's my spiel for that
Classic.
movie.
Rookie mistake.
Honestly. Oldest trick in the book. Whatever that means in this context. But yeah.
What's the next question?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's see here. This next
That does
question-
sound like a pretty lame movie, though, to be fair.
See, but the catch is it looks really pretty as a movie. So
Was it animated or live
No,
action?
it was live action, but
Oh,
they
okay.
it's shot really well, and there's a lot of really pretty shots and scenes in it, so it makes up
No.
for it. I would watch it again just for that sheer fact. And again, the soundtrack adds to it quite a bit. So,
Hmm.
this next question comes in from Nelly or Noelia. Remember her, Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so she has a couple. First of which being how does being a senior and transitioning during the pandemic feel? Which I mean, basically, to make a long story short, uh, it's just really weird. You know what I mean? I guess it's kind of just like regular life, but what it would be like if I was living with my parents after I graduate. I feel like
Damn.
I feel like it'd be kind of the same thing, similar,
Mm.
I guess. You know what I mean? Except I just can't leave my house. That's the only difference, I guess.
Right.
That wasn't a diss to you. I was just legitimately saying.
Really do
um,
be like that.
yeah, but you get over it. This'll all pass. So, and her second question was, "What are your future plans?" Which
Mm.
I will say, was asked for both of us. She didn't really specify who she directed at. So I'll just say, we can both answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was talking for 2 hours about paper towns, I'll have you field this one first.
No, I think the question's more aimed towards you. So
Well,
I'll let you
see,
take it.
it might be, but I again was talking for a long time, and I want to hear your answer to that question. So answer the
My
freaking
future
question.
my future plans.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow I'm gonna go out and buy a Lamborghini. I'm gonna look at. What do you mean with what money? I guess I'm confused.
I didn't say that.
You know what I think is funny is that the biggest flex right now is owning like one of those N95 masks.
What is that?
You know what I'm talking about? It's like an air filter mask. They usually use it for painting or if you're sanding something down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have one of those. So I'm practically a millionaire is what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
So that being said, I'm gonna trade one of those in for Lamborghini tomorrow. Thinking all the features. We'll see, because Lamborghinis are kind of cheap. You know what I mean? So
Right. I mean, really, they're not even worth it.
that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of a waste of money because they're so cheap, so poorly made as well.
Yeah, nobody
So
even likes them.
no, nobody does like them. I don't know how they're still around,
I'm surprised they haven't gone out of
but
business.
future plans. Yeah, I don't know. Just take it one day at a time. Keep looking for new opportunities, and just keep moving forward. That's pretty much my plan.
Heck yeah, man.
So,
That's good stuff.
what about you? What you got?
As of right now, well, initially I planned to go to South Plains, which is near Lubbock,
Mm-hmm.
and study radio, television, film.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just kind of because I have a big passion for movies and stuff. But on the other hand, I actually have a really big passion for music. And so this whole like recording deal has kind of thrown a wrench in some things. Not fully, because like I don't know how this is all gonna pan out, but depending on how this goes, ideally I want to kind of keep that same thing though. Like I still want to go to college, but at this point in time, I currently don't really know how that's gonna go because nothing set in stone has been made. So
Mm-hmm.
until that point, I won't really know kind of how my life is looking, from here
Right.
for the next at least year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, ideally go to college and try to do the music thing on the side as well, not on the side, but along with college.
Right.
So yeah, I guess that's my future plans.
Mm-hmm.
So far. I mean, long term, I want to get married and have kids, but that's a little bit far out there for now. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, just a tad.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyways, I mean we were only really asked 3 questions, so hopefully maybe by next episode we might get a little more of an audience engagement on that bad boy. But 2 of the questions were from the same person. Which, by the way, thank you guys,
Big fan. Thank you,
Mr. Boop and Nelly, for your questions. We really appreciate it. Hope to hear more
Boopster.
from you guys. Boopster. I don't know if he
The-
likes. I don't know if he likes being called that. And he's a big dude. He could probably kick both of our butts together. So I don't know. I don't know if he
The
called that.
Boopster, if I may. Mr. Boopster. Maybe is that better? Mr.
No, I don't know about that.
Mr. Boopster.
This guy's a Marine.
Okay.
I was kind of scared. I don't know. I don't know if you want to say that, man. He'd probably kill you.
He probably could, but
You're just gonna call him Boopster like that.
I'm gonna call him the Boopster.
Oh man, I don't. Okay. Oh man. Let's talk about something funny. How about that? Dylan? What is your favorite meme? Of
all time favorite?
Non-edgy. We can't be inappropriate.
I don't like edgy memes anymore.
Good.
Crab Rave is my favorite all time.
Explain for the audience in detail what Crab Rave is. Thank you. I guess that pretty much sums it up.
And that's it.
Thank you guys for watching the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
What's your favorite all-time meme?
I don't. There have been a few. Only few memes have really gotten me to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been at very rare times. You know, it's got to be a certain time of day or year to really get me to laugh at something.
Right.
Just thinking back, a few of the memes that have ever made me laugh out loud. For some reason, back when it was big to take the song "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence and then make it be sung by a bunch of different crazy characters.
Yeah.
Someone in a group chat I was in posted a video of that song but being sung by like Donkey Kong.
Mm.
And for some reason that just really set me off at the time. I was laughing for a solid 10 minutes at that. Just repeat. No, it might have been Goofy actually.
Yeah, I think the Goofy one is the
I think that was the
more common.
It was the Goofy one that really got me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of them. Man, there was a video I saw a long time ago of this guy on like Do It for State. Do you remember that Instagram account?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, this dude was like blacked out drunk, and he was making the stupidest face. I'll see if I can put it up. I screenshotted it years ago. I'll see if I can maybe put that screenshot up in the video. But yeah, he just has this. He's asleep. He is just knocked out. But he has this super goofy looking face on him, and it just got me so hardcore.
Liked by Tony Hawk. I like that.
Does it really say that? Liked by Tony
Yeah.
Hawk? Yeah. You know, Tony Hawk's a good partier. You know what I mean?
He's a good fella.
He's a great fella. Yeah, a couple. I don't know. Some other memes that have gotten me. I don't know. I'm not much of a memer, really. You know, at my core, I'm not into memes that much. So there's not a lot that can really get me to laugh out loud meme-wise. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's just like... I mean, most things I can, you know, sharply exhale to, but I wouldn't really call it laughing at something, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then, to me... The only things that make me laugh most of the time are just things that people say that are really stupid, and it just catches me off guard. You've done that so many times, where you'll just say something and I will not be expecting it, and I'll just start busting out laughing. Do you remember Do you remember the ashtray thing that we used to do in theater? We can't really read it now.
The Kanye quote.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
The Kanye quote. That used to make me laugh so hard.
I still laugh at that.
Yeah,
that's
funny. Good stuff, dude. Solid meme. Anyways, let's see. What else can we talk about? What do people like?
Oh man, people like all sorts of things.
Did I ask last episode what your favorite type of cheese was? I feel like I totally did.
I feel like you did too, but
Okay.
pepper jack.
Maybe we make this a running bit where every episode I forget if I asked you your favorite cheese, and then you answer it every time. Pepper jack, you said?
Pepper jack, yeah,
See,
pepper jack.
I'm more of a Colby Jack kind of guy. I mean, pepper jack is really good. I don't know though. Certain cheeses, different situations call for different cheeses. Like I like a certain cheese on my sandwich. Like there's certain cheeses you just can't have on a sandwich. It's not good on there. But like, I'm talking like straight up, you eat it by itself kind of cheese. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just eat it on a good old midnight. Just by it when you're feeling especially
Lonesome.
insecure and lonely. Down a couple slices of good old cheese. I've even resorted to Kraft singles, dude. That's how low I've gotten. At times, I'll just down some Kraft singles, make that freaking that gross sound when you're diving into a little what would you even call that? A little sleeve of Kraft singles. It's just like you gotta pull back that little thing.
I can't say that I know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
You never dug into some Kraft singles, Dylan? Come on.
No, I have not.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
it's that plastic packaged, like, processed
No, I know.
cheese.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
That little plastic wrap around it on every individual slice of cheese.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know which. I've never heard that sound before. So.
Well, I guess you don't dig into your cheese as violently as I do. I'm ripping that thing open, okay? If I can't get my cheese in less than half a second, I'm upset, okay? I am pissed. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
I'm sorry.
I just don't even know how to reply to that. Like, what do I say?
Come on, man. It's cheese. You can't tell me you're not as passionate about cheese as I am.
I wish I was.
Whatever.
I really do.
I don't want to talk anymore.
What do you want me to say? You want me to lie to you?
I don't know, man. You know what? You take over the podcast. It's all you, man. Just go for it. Just say whatever right now. I'm done.
You shouldn't say that. Oh, man. So I went to the DMV the other day. Oh. The DMV's closed.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Dilly Dilly. I'll be here all night. I went to the DMV. Idiots, the DMV's closed.
The DMV is closed.
That's a good bit, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing stand-up next week.
Do it right now. Go for it. Okay, starting now.
Ready? I think you have to have a whole set before you stand up.
You ever heard of improv?
That's not stand-up.
Go for it.
Stand-up is an improv.
Right now, start. 1, 2, 3,
Those
go.
are two different things.
And go.
I don't know what to say. I don't have a set, so I don't know what you want me to do.
Yes, and.
Okay. The other day I was walking down the street. I saw two women walking down the street ahead of me. They were walking down the street the day before. I shout to them. I say, "Hey, what are you two women doing?" And they flew away. I said, "Oh, them some bird."
That's a really touching story, Dylan. I didn't expect you to give something so emotional tonight.
Well, you put me on the spot, and that's what I do on the spot. I just,
wow.
I
could really tell that
speak
came
the
from
truth.
I can really tell that came from your heart.
You know what I was thinking about the other day is I was thinking about
What's
how Norm.
Really?
I was thinking about how Norm Macdonald, like a lot of people like there are some people who really like his humor, and I think those people are funny. And then the people who don't like his humor just aren't funny. You know, like there's a weird
Yikes!
trend. I'm not saying like every
Wow,
single person that likes Norm Macdonald is funny, but
you are
from what I've
saying
noticed,
everybody who doesn't is not funny.
well, humor is subjective, so really it could just be my point of view of what's funny, and it is, right? So basically, what I'm saying is that people who like Norm Macdonald are funny.
Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard his moth bit?
Oh,
I
yeah, I
love
have.
that
I've
bit.
heard
So
that one
good.
too.
If you haven't seen it, you guys should definitely Google or like YouTube search Norm Macdonald moth joke. It is. Oh my gosh,
Very good.
it's. You might get bored halfway through, but I promise it's worth it.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
such a.
think
It's like such a genius joke.
that's a lot of his humor. Is him like nature walking to the butt of the joke. Like
Yeah, oh man,
it's
that's
so
such a
good.
perfect like description of it. That's exactly because it's all like it's all build up, build up, build up, build up,
Yeah,
punchline. You
exactly.
know, it's like what is he talking about? Oh, yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
love his humor.
that's good. Me too. It's so like sarcastic. He just doesn't care about anything.
Yeah, yeah.
His stuff on Conan was so funny. All his bits he's done on Conan.
It's been a while since I've seen a lot of those
Dude,
bits.
there are some that are so good. I'll have to. I'm gonna send you some links to some of them after the podcast. But um, but yeah, dude, it's some really good stuff.
He is amazing. He is amazing.
Honestly, what are some of your other favorite comedians?
Um, you know, uh, sorry, I was gonna say something, but then I just thought it through. Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, those are, I mean, pretty much all just stand-up comedians. Um, George Lopez he had some pretty good stuff. Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy back in the day used to be really funny,
What
very
is?
edgy.
You mind retelling me your favorite Dave Chappelle bit?
My favorite Dave Chappelle bit is the one where he's on like he at like I think 2 a.m. He's in the projects, and he talks about how he's stuck in a limo in the projects at like 2 a.m.
How does it go?
He's stuck in the projects at 2 a.m. and he's looking around and he sees a baby on a corner and he's
Okay,
like, "Why is
all
there a
right.
baby there?"
Can you finish this joke on the pod? Like, do you think is this a joke you can say on the podcast?
No,
Okay.
no, but you kept asking.
Well, I
so
didn't know how far you'd go because I was doing a bit about like, oh, do something edgy, but
No, I can't finish that joke. Anyway,
all right, moving on.
moving on.
What is your favorite one-liner?
My favorite one-liner.
Yep.
Just like a pickup line or like.
No, like the joke one-liner.
Oh, I don't know if I don't know any off the top of my head.
You can Google them.
I could, but that would be cheating.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
If you
Because
don't,
if
you
it's my
didn't-
favorite one, then I would know it off the top of my head.
you didn't have to tell me you were Googling it.
But you just said to Google it, and I just Googled it.
Okay, well, what is it?
What's your favorite one-liner?
Have I told you the one that I've used
Boo.
since? Have I told you my favorite one that I've used since I was a kid? Just gonna skirt on past that, Dylan.
No, go ahead.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Moo. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, are you okay? I thought you were getting murdered.
What's your one?
What just happened? Why did you scream?
I was laughing.
It sounded like you were getting stabbed.
That kind of hurts my feelings.
Also hurt your stomach because you got stabbed.
Can you give me the one-liner?
Yeah, you ready for it?
Yeah.
All right. No more screaming.
Okay.
Why do elephants' tusks stick out?
Why?
Because their parents couldn't afford braces. All right. Maybe I'll think of another one to be my favorite.
No, it was good. It was just really funny. I had to mute my mic. You said I couldn't yell anymore, so I had to mute my mic.
Oh, that's bullcrap.
What?
What?
Oh my gosh. What else?
My other favorite one-liner?
Just what else did you want to talk about?
The price of eggs in China.
Oh. I don't know it off the top of my head. Should I know it?
You're an idiot.
Oh, do they not have eggs in China? Is that the...
No,
Oh.
it's illegal, dummy.
Oh,
Trick
they don't have
question.
eggs in China? Oh my
No, because
god.
Kim Jong-un told them they couldn't have them.
Excuse me?
The president of China?
The president of China, Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
I believe you mean Kim Jong-il.
Why, is he sick?
Well, he was. And then he died.
Oh, no.
We can't talk about vampires.
Crap.
Oh my gosh.
Here, hold on. My brother's telling me to tell my mom to call him.
Okay.
Entertain the audience for a few seconds.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ma!
He didn't mute his mic. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't really know what to do to entertain you guys. I highly doubt he'll even put this in. So, really, does it matter what I say or what I do? Not particularly. I guess now that I have the chance, I just want to say I love you. I care about you. You know, and I feel like I keep shooting my shot, and you just keep shooting me down, and it would just really mean a lot, if you gave me a chance, if you gave me a shot, because I think I can prove myself, but you're just not giving me the chance, and I just I do everything I do to kind of show you that I'm serious. I'm serious about what I'm doing, I'm serious about being serious, and every day I work at the office 9 to 5. I drive my car home, directly home. I come home, I cook ramen, I eat, I then sleep and wake up and do it all over again 5 days a week. The 2 days I have off, I simply fast. I'm saving money for our wedding, which I know is coming eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it'll be here, and I'll give you the wedding you want, the wedding you deserve. And I think the point I'm trying to make is that I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, even though you're not giving me a chance. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I hope that you change your mind pretty soon, because you're gonna miss out. you're gonna miss out on all this. I mean, I'm 4'9", 336 pounds, pure muscle. I'm an actual bull. I'm a bull, and you're gonna miss out on all this. So I'm just giving you a heads up, just giving you that fair warning that I think that you need to give me a chance. You need to give me an opportunity here. You need to let the peacock fly. Put me in, coat. I mean, geez, I've been riding the bench for a while now. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. And I think that's what makes me angry. More than anything is that I did what I thought needed to be done, and I busted my butt over it, over and over and over again. And that's what makes me angry, is that you are just so convinced that you are better than me. And that's why I'm angry. That's why I'm so caught up in this, is because over and over again you told me, you just kept saying, why don't you move out of your mom's basement? Because my mom loves me. That's why. God forbid my mother loves me. Yes, I'll admit. Is it a little weird? Maybe. But my mother's basement is cozy. What can I say? What do you want me to say? It's what I'm used to. I'm a basement dweller. I've been there for the past 20 years of my life. I know no different. What do you want from me? You want me to be a what? A ground dweller? You want me to be above ground? You know I can't do that. You know I have a fear of the sun. I'm sick and tired of it. The only time I'm allowed to go out is during night. The moon cannot harm me. It's unreal. Sick and tired of it.
That was so good, dude. It's just gonna be like, that's gonna be so good, dude, for our ad revenue. I mean, our watch time.
Whoa.
Oh man. I don't know. It feels like we're kind of getting to an end. It's a shorter podcast this week.
Is it?
Yeah, we're running just a few minutes short this time around, just given how everything is turning out. But
right.
Yeah, I figure we soon bring this thing to a close. Anything you feel like saying to the audience before we wrap this bad boy up? Besides anything you've already said, I mean.
No, I can't think of anything. Did we want to do a music? Did you want to do a music thing this week, or
music of music of the week or month or whatever? However we're doing this, I guess it's not weekly.
Whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some stuff I've been listening to. I've been listening to a lot of movie soundtracks. Usually specific tracks off some stuff though.
Uh-huh.
Like for example, have you ever seen Sierra Burgess Is a Loser?
I have not.
It's a Netflix movie. I haven't seen it either, but it has a great soundtrack. There's a specific song on there called Latitude by Leland. Really great song if you're into some like synth, like 80s type stuff. Really, really good stuff. Let's see, what else have we got here? Oh, have you heard 21 Pilots' new single they put out? Level of Concern. That's a really good. That's a bop right there. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you know what? Not unironically, I've been listening to quite a bit recently.
What's that?
That meme song from Ratatouille.
Yeah, the one in French.
Yes, Le Festin or whatever. That song is a big old bop.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple other ones.
The Eiffel, the Tower, I Surrender. Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's the English version. Yeah, that's the English version.
Wow. Interesting. I didn't realize you were so
I speak a
cultured.
little bit of French. Yeah, I speak a little bit of French.
That's impressive. Wow.
Well, you know.
Yeah. A couple other songs. Uh, the song "Super Lonely" by Benny featuring Gus Dapperton.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight out of TikTok, that song, but it's kind of a banger, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then finally another soundtrack song. It's from the movie 5 Feet Apart, which is quite the tearjerker if you've ever seen it.
Mm.
It's a song called "State Lines" by Novo Amor. Really good stuff if you're looking for a good cry.
Oh.
Um, so I mean that looks to be about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean that's mainly what I've been listening to. Aside from some country music, shout out my
Right.
boy Co Wetzel, great country artist. Not that appropriate in some of his
Uh.
songs
Oh my.
for the kids out there, but really good
Mm.
country music. So if you're into that, check him out. If not, hopefully some
Hmm.
of the other stuff I mentioned will get your gander or whatever the kids say.
Mm.
What about you? What are you listening to? What's going through your radio waves?
Well, speaking of movie song playlist,
Mm-hmm.
soundtracks, if you will,
Right.
I actually really like Baby Driver soundtrack.
That's a good one.
Super good.
Really good soundtrack.
Um, the Jumanji had a really good soundtrack.
What
Jumanji 2, the second one,
the new one?
the newer second one, yeah.
Any specific song off of that one?
Just the dancey song. I forget the name of it right now, but it's like
The
the
dancey song from Jumanji 2.
yeah,
The
where
squeak one.
she's like, does anybody want to dance with the bride? And then they put on the song, and she just like, wah, 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 and she just starts
Oh, she
beating
just
the
beats
bad
him
guys.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She's
that's a
like
cool
dancing and
one.
beating.
That's a cool
Yeah,
one.
it's a good song.
Karen Gillan has always been. She's never failed to not be cool or to be cool.
She's always not cool.
Oh,
But yeah, so that's kind of what's going through my radio waves RN.
neat.
So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, any last words?
Um, if okay, yes.
Alrighty. What? What are they?
um, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For you are the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Man, what a God bless America. What a great way to
Mm,
end off the podcast.
absolutely.
Thank you everyone for watching. Um, we hope you enjoy this week's installment of the Jake Paul podcast.
Mm. Next week we'll have Logan.
Who?
Cares?